It's the morning cryptos, and it's Mark Shepard with the Hypnosis of Money and the Crypto Cranker's Guide to the Bitcoin Galaxy of Greed and Grooviness. And let's begin. All right, so my new practice, and you might want to try this as well. This is obviously not proprietary information, but it's something that I think is helpful that I wasn't really doing. And so I'm starting a practice of, before I really get going with looking at the charts, I like to just see if there's anything I should know about in the Bitcoin news. So I just go to Google, I type in Bitcoin, and see what comes up. The South Korean crypto community is going to push back against the ICO ban. That's interesting. That might be an interesting article to check out. The former Bundesbank chief, Bitcoin doesn't meet full definition of a currency. Yeah, like a piece of paper does, but Chairman of the Swiss banking giant, UBS. Well, Swiss is okay. My girlfriend's Swiss, so anything Swiss is fine. He doesn't believe that Bitcoin meets the full definition of a currency. Okay, Axel Weber, who previously served as head of the Bundesbank, Germany's central bank, made the remarks during an event in Zurich today. After noting that his skepticism towards the cryptocurrency probably comes from a background as a central banker, Weber argued that in spite of arguments to the contrary, Bitcoin only partially satisfies the common definition of a currency. He told attendees the important function of a currency is it's a means of payment. It has to be generally accepted. It has to be a store of value, and it's a transaction currency. Bitcoin is only a transaction currency. Excuse me? It's also a store of value, and it's generally accepted by the crypto community, right? And anybody in the crypto community would be happy to take a Bitcoin payment. But not very many people want to give a Bitcoin payment because they don't want their Bitcoin to stop growing in their own account, in their own wallet. Right? It's like, oh, if I give you this $10 worth of Bitcoin, tomorrow it could be worth 20. So I might be giving you $20 worth of Bitcoin. So that's going to be worked out. But the banker guys, of course, people, think of the Hypnosis of Money. The CEO of Exxon is skeptical that solar power or electric cars could replace oil, right? Look, there's a gas station on every corner. How are you going to replace that? Yeah, right. Well, it's going to happen. All right, so that gets me fired up, and so I just try to look at a couple of little pieces of news, and CoinDesk, these articles are so short that you can kind of get the gist pretty quickly. It's not in depth by any means. Nailed it. Ethereum Bitcoin hybrid EBTC gains 300% on investor hype. Now that's interesting, and it's recent, 1 hour ago. A new altcoin launching itself as the new ERC20 Bitcoin. EBTC has increased in value of 335% since it launched Monday. This is weird. The curious concept, which is attempting to become a tokenized version of Bitcoin on the Ethereum blockchain, completed an airdrop to Ethereum holders prior to its debut. October 1st. There's currently no widely accepted tokenized version of Bitcoin on Ethereum, which is pretty surprising, developers explained. As EBTC grows, it will display Ethereum's capability and strengthen its stance among cryptocurrencies. Huh. Interesting. Good luck with that. Huh. Here's a way to do it without an ICO event. Has no white paper. Okay, people, can we not do stupid shit? Okay. All right. Well, if you want to do stupid shit, go ahead and do it. That's how you get experience. But I'm not doing that. I'm looking at coins that are pretty well vetted to have actual use and value. So let's quickly look at my quantum on Bittrex, which is undergoing automated maintenance. That, I think, it's being swapped. It's still being swapped. I don't know how long that's going to take, but there it is. Okay, so it's probably not too late for you to get your quantum onto Bittrex. I don't know the time constraints of that. Probably the thing to do is to go to the QTUM website to make sure you type in QTUM.org, not quantum, because quantum is a whole different thing. Let's go to their blog, see if they have anything to say. Oh, they have moved to Medium. Okay. Let's go to Medium. Okay. Updates. How about an update for October 4th? How about, what do I do next, guys? 6-minute read. Oh, this was posted. Okay. Let's see what happens. Part of the try to receive read on Medium. There's a personalized experience. Yeah, sorry. Okay. So they had a conference. Okay, big deal. Economic fees. Okay. Quantum swap. Okay, October 4th. The swap from ERC20 tokens to Quantum's functional network token will take place. Okay, this is still... All right. So... keep in mind that the only way you can swap tokens to QTUM Ignition main network is by following this guide. If you see any information contrary, consider it as an attempt to steal your tokens. If you missed the October 4th swap date, we have partnered with Changelly.com to catch anyone who missed this event. On October 9th, there will be a section on Changelly that allows you to deposit your ERC20 tokens. They will ask you to provide a Quantum Ignition deposit address, which you can get from downloading the wallet from our GitHub. Be advised that markets may be locked for deposits and withdrawals for 24 to 48 hours. Okay. All right, so people, I'm going to copy this link, and I'm going to put it below the video for today. I don't know what yeah, so I'll just leave that there, then I'll copy that. I'll put that below. Okay, if you have more than 100,000 tokens, and please be aware of third parties and non-affiliated quantum websites. Okay, so the next thing is to download the QTUM Ignition wallet from GitHub. Okay. Make sure your computer is free of malware or viruses and wait for the wallet to completely update, encrypt, and back up your wallet. Make multiple copies and keep them safe. Do not keep all your backups on one computer. Use a DVD, R, or USB storage device. Make sure you use a strong password for your backup. Be careful not to lose it. Do a test withdrawal with one Quantum main network token from the exchange to your wallet and then send it back to the exchange. If everything works properly, you can proceed to withdraw your Quantum main network tokens. Okay, so people, this is important, and the link will be below this video for this bit of instruction. Okay, so at the moment, hopefully you have your stuff on an exchange, and they're having a fireside chat today, October 5th. That's so exciting! A fireside chat with the Quantum co-founders. Oh my god! I'm so excited about that. So exciting. 7 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. So that's going to be like 7, 6, 5, like 4 o'clock Eastern Time. And then how to download the Quantum Ignition wallet. So they got information here. And this is the place to come. All right. So I think hopefully that's helpful information, people. My intention is to be helpful to you guys. and to be a source of decent information and hopefully mostly correct information, although I have made my share of screw-ups. Like when I thought quantum was the other quantum, and that I was trading the wrong quantum. All right, so let's look at what the hell is going on. So quantum, I thought it was going to like soar, but evidently it's a quiet little moment of consolidation, and I think it makes sense that like kind of things would come to a little bit of a pause while the whole token swap thing is happening, and that may be a 48-hour process. I don't know, but I think it's looking good. We had some pretty good boosts up here on the 1 hours, not too many 1 hours ago. And let's go to see. It's trading at $11.50. Not bad. It's kind of holding its price pretty good. The volume, it's still number 4. It was number 3. I think Bitcoin Cash, there's some nonsense going on with Bitcoin Cash. I was watching Charlie Lee tweet about the Bitcoin Cash, and evidently there's certain periods of time when it's really profitable to mine Bitcoin Cash. And so a lot of the miners who have their rigs normally pointed toward Bitcoin, like move it to Bitcoin Cash. So then Bitcoin, that's when Bitcoin gets really, really slow. So in a way, it's not a helpful thing. And I don't know what to think about either one of them right now. I think the biggest mistake I've ever made is not just hold my Bitcoin. But at the same time, I get frustrated, and that's why I look for change. That's why I don't stick around with something that doesn't feel like it's working. And the main strike, and let's go to Bitcoin. The main strike that the Jamie Dimons could actually make at Bitcoin, the main thing they could really, the most damning thing they could say about Bitcoin, which they don't know enough about Bitcoin to say, is that, well, Bitcoin is certainly a store of value. It's certainly a method and a mode of exchange, and it's certainly put cryptocurrencies on the map. But it's unusable not because stores won't take it, but because it takes too long to confirm the transactions. And that needs to fucking change, right? And I find it really hard to just blindly put my money into something that is not functional. And it will be functional again, I'm sure. But what I hear from the people I really respect is, Bitcoin's here to stay, and it's the place to put your profits from the other coins. So that's kind of the process I'm going through, is like, okay, I've gone through my just buying a little bit of Bitcoin every day stage. That was actually a really smart thing to do. I just set it up automatically, and I bought $20 every day on Coinbase. That built me a little bit of a nest egg. And then when the hard fork came, I got scared, and I cashed out most of my Bitcoin. And so I didn't get the Bitcoin Cash because I didn't know about that. I didn't know about hard forks and how you can actually double your coins. Didn't know about that, right? Didn't understand it. And so I missed out on that. And then I just got really pissed at Bitcoin for being so fucking slow that I was like, screw this. I can't do exchanges and stuff from Bitcoin into other things if it takes hours and then I lose the price that I wanted. So I really started moving towards Litecoin and Ethereum. And I think, I don't know, every time I go, well, maybe I should get some Bitcoin. Here, I just tried to get to the Bitcoin chart. There we go, 1 day Bitcoin. Every time I look at it and go, maybe I should get some. Like, I should have bought some here. But I was like, and the other coins seem to be more interesting. They seem to be better designed for specific things, and I see the potential. So I'm like, And I still think Bitcoin's going to hit 5,000, and then it's going to have another major correction. I think it's going to do kind of what Ethereum has been doing. It's going to make these big tops and big bottoms, and it's going to kind of do that. But I don't know. Who knows? Nobody knows. But it is the one that everybody knows about, who knows about it. And look at this boost up on the 60 minutes of Bitcoin. That's a sweet boost up. Don't chase it, people. All right. So I will probably, on the next Bitcoin correction, start buying some more Bitcoin again. That's what I really feel like I ought to do. I just don't like it right now. I don't like the fuss. I don't like the fact that it's proof of work, and I've kind of like, I think proof of stake is the way to go, and so there's all these things that at least Ethereum is moving towards proof of stake, and Bitcoin's not, right? The miners own Bitcoin, and they have co-opted it. Ooh, a blue jay just flew right to my window. All right, so I'm just going to quick look at Bitcoin Cash, and that's boosted. Like, I've been saying, good time to buy Bitcoin Cash, but I don't care, right? I don't know anything about it. I don't care. I'm pissed at the whole thing. So, that's, again, a demonstration of the human mind and how we actually have opinions about something that's neutral, right? Bitcoin is neutral. It's just a means to store energy or value, right? And the fact that more and more people are coming into this space, and Bitcoin is the gateway drug, right? So Bitcoin is going to continue to grow. And then the other coins will continue to grow as people go, oh, there's all these other coins. Let me look into those. And then I think there's a process. Okay, so my first process was buy a little Bitcoin every day. And then I'm like, well, what do I do with this, right? I should have just held it. Just hold it, people. Just put it in a wallet and be safe with it. Hide your keys. Be safe, right? But there's a learning curve. You don't just get all this on the first day because there's just too much information, right? And again, the public will only adopt this when it's so easy that even idiots can do it, right? And we're not there yet because you still have to figure this shit out. You still have to understand this a little bit, even if you're not techie, all right? So you still have to have an open mind and be an early adopter to even consider this. And that makes you a special person. I'm sorry. That's, I'm not just pumping your ego up. You're an amazing person. If you're even watching this, you are learning. You're someone who wants to learn and understand this. And I want to challenge you to begin to learn how your mind works as well. Because once you understand how your mind works, you have a crazy advantage over all the other traders who are being driven by their emotions, by their fear of missing out, and by their fear, uncertainty, and doubt in response to intentionally negative news that is being pushed through the mainstream media. All right? So, man, how did I get on that rant? Jesus. And I'm probably wrong about Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. I should probably be buying it because Bitcoin is so juicily volatile, right? That if I bought some here at 41.39 and sold some here at 42.88, there's a decent spread there. That's a decent chunk of change. Whereas the other currencies aren't quite that, they're not trading at the same price swings. But maybe these smaller currencies are a little bit more user-friendly, and it's the user-friendly thing that really Bitcoin has to get its shit together on. All right, so Dash is up, and I think Dash, and I've said this before, let's look at the 1 day. It's up a little, but I still think it's going to go for 400. It's going to test this resistance. And again, not a bad time to buy some Dash. Maybe not today, but when it's in this high 200 range, I think there's quite a bit of support here. I think it might come down this far and touch this area of support and see what happens. But I think Dash is, I have a good groove about Dash. I think they know what they're doing, and they're doing their best to keep it updated and current, and we'll see. You know, somebody's going to win the usability war, and it don't know who it is yet. We don't know. We do not know what we do not know. So there's a whole step. You don't know what you don't know, right? There are people who have no clue that they don't know anything about Bitcoin, right? They may never have heard of Bitcoin. Then there are people that have heard of Bitcoin, so they know that they don't know anything about it. And then there's people who think they know about Bitcoin. It's interesting. There's a bird that has just landed on my neighbor's door, and it's looking for bugs. My neighbors don't know it, but they have carpenter ants, and I can see the holes from this side, and woodpeckers visit them all the time. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, time for more coffee. So, stage 1, you don't know what you don't know. Stage 2, you know that you don't know. Stage 3 is conscious. So I guess stage 2 is conscious. So there's unconscious incompetence. You don't know that you don't know. There's conscious incompetence. You do know that you don't know. Then there's conscious competence, where you know what it is you know. And then there's unconscious competence, where you just know it, right? And that's the whole process of riding a bike, right? And cryptocurrencies is in the process right now where we all are learning how to ride the bike, and we are still in the conscious competence stage, and the conscious incompetent stage, where I know that I know so little, and I'm trying to expand my knowledge, my working knowledge, enough so that I can make intelligent decisions, right? I don't have to know how to make my own coin, right? I don't have to put together a team of developers to make my coin. I don't want to make my own coin. I want to actually use the coins that other people who know what they're doing are making, and use those to grow my capital, right? So that I can then use that capital to continue to develop my music and my videos and get equipment and do the things that I want to do with my life before I die, right? So that's the real question. Why are you doing this? It's not just about the money. What do you want the money for, right? And so I'm looking at EOS right now, and I'll stop my philosophical blabbing, Jesus, and so where was I? So, okay, so EOS. I had EOS a little bit ago, and then I got rid of it because I was a little premature. So EOS is something I'm looking at, and next chance I'm going to get a little bit more of it, and I'm going to look into it, and I'm going to start doing some research on it, but I haven't yet, so that's all I'm going to say. Okay, Ethereum. Okay, Ethereum still is in this beautiful, beautiful little sideways trading range, and I think it's a safe time to start picking some Ethereum up, all right? I think it is a time when we will look back and go, oh, I wish I'd got more Ethereum. I just do. I think they're about to make massive, massive improvements to it. There was one article I wanted to just share with you guys when I got to Ethereum that you might want to check out. Ethereum testnet faces attack, but Byzantium delay unlikely, and evidently a version of the Ethereum blockchain being used by developers to test a forthcoming network upgrade is under spam attack. So the cool thing is, and you want to check out some Andreas Antonopoulos stuff about why attacks on the network are actually good. And his whole point is that who gets attacked the most? Like Google, Amazon, right? A lot of these networks, the more they're attacked, the better they become because they have to defend themselves against the attacks. So the attacks are kind of like the predators in the jungle keeping the gazelles, or in the savannah, keeping the gazelles and the wildebeests and the zebras in good shape, and the predator culls out the weak ones. So that's another strike against coins that are not well funded, or coins that don't have a good team, or coins that are just what people call shit coins, is that they don't have the kinds of development muscle that an Ethereum might have, or a Dash. All right, so let's look at quickly the 1 hour, and I want to get you guys out of here because I know you have things to do. And again, this sideways trading range is, I think, is a beautiful thing. And I think you need to pay attention to the fact that Ethereum is at a decent price, and it seems to be taking a little bit of pause from its own volatility. And, you know, I don't think it's a bad time to get in. I think it's a good time to get in, even though it's a little bit up here on the 1 hours. You might want to kind of put in a buy order down here if that's the thing that you do. But if you know how to do that, you probably already have done that. I'm still buying my Ethereum at Coinbase because I'm trying to convert as many US dollars as I can to crypto, because I think we're going to have an event in the general economy. I don't know if it's going to happen in October or December, but I don't know. And I could be wrong. And I've been wrong a lot before. Many of us are. So, that's Ethereum. IOTA real quick on the 1 day. And again, IOTA is one of the coins that I'm watching, and I'm going to start getting some as soon as I learn a little bit more about it. I don't want to just buy a bunch of stuff, right? I want to actually do some due diligence, be a little more conservative than I was in the beginning. And so IOTA is looking good. I'm going to keep an eye on that. Litecoin, people, look at Litecoin. This is a serious buy signal. I think it's a serious buy signal today. And we have this beautiful sideways trading range, and it is gradually and steadily up. And this, I don't know if this is by design, but this is, to me, with the exception of this big boost here, this to me says this is a coin that could be used as a general currency. And I'd like, I don't know if BitPay includes Litecoin, but I don't want to be using Bitcoin because it's too slow. I don't even want to transfer it to a debit card because it's too slow. And how can they actually have a network based on Bitcoin if it's so slow? But Litecoin, just got a little thing, new block discovered. So I'm tremendously bullish on Litecoin, and it's one of the top coins, and it's going up, but it's going up gradually, so you can get in. This is something that I would start encouraging myself to buy regularly, and I did buy as much as I could swing this week, but I had some bills to pay, right? So do not use your mortgage money or your rent money, right? It's tempting sometimes. You can get carried away with the emotion. And there's something in the human mind that gets triggered, particularly in the male mind. There was a wonderful little video by Bite-Sized Bitcoin, who I just discovered yesterday, and I'm impressed with. So check him out when you get a chance. All right. Let's look at Litecoin here on the 1 hours. Not a bad time to get some. I mean, it's not the perfect time because it's actually up, but it's in pretty much the lower chunk of its sideways trading range. And there's a decent spread between 50 and 57, right? Why not? Why not get you some? So, again, please do not construe my suggestion that you get you some to be advice. It's merely a suggestion, and only, and if you choose to accept that suggestion, will it become your command to yourself, not my suggestion, right? And so that's what I'm just trying to say. Disclaimer. Gotta have a disclaimer. All right, Neo. Neo, I don't. Come on. If I can figure out how to use my mouse. Well, the chart for Neo is annoying as frick. Trying not to curse. So screw it. Not looking at Neo right now. I don't have any, so I don't care. Okay? I don't care. Oh, me say go! I think it might be a good time to get some. But I don't know. I got to do more research on them. And Monero, just kind of hanging in. But you see, every time we have a massive boost like this, it's not sustainable. And it's not until it comes in and consolidates that it becomes sustainable. And the question is this a bullish move? It's looking pretty bearish. But still sideways trading range. Can go up, can go down. All right, so anyway, let's look at Civic and the Civic to Bitcoin. Not a bad time to get you into some Civic as well. And let's look at Quantum. Let's go back to Quantum and Quantum 1 hours. All right. So that's my morning cryptos. That's what I do in the morning, every morning. And you just got to do it with me. Aren't you lucky? I think you're amazing. And I really appreciate you guys, really. You have no clue. I spent 2 years on my YouTube channel putting up my music, and I barely got anybody remotely interested. And so I really appreciate all the new subscribers. And I'm really trying to do my best to do my due diligence and to show you the process that I'm going through as a noob. Someone who is coming into this ecosystem without a technical background. And that's, I think there's going to be millions of us, millions and millions upon millions of people going, oh, okay, I need to learn about this. And many of us older folks, yes, many of us older folks remember, we remember when someone said, yeah, there's a new thing called the internet and there's going to be stores and stuff on it. I'm like, huh? Right? And there's this new thing called email, huh? And do you have a cell phone yet? Huh? I mean, I remember all that stuff. We didn't have that. I didn't grow up with a cell phone or the internet or any of this stuff. And we've seen it come in and we've seen it change the world. And this is no different in that way. It's significant. I've been watching a lot of documentaries about the transition from hunter and gatherers to farmers and to, from stone tools to metal tools, and from, the movement of technological advancement, right? So we're in a revolution that's happening faster, and it's televised, it's online, and you can just open your window into this thing called the internet, your browser, and look into the ideas of the world in action. So that's the hypnosis of money. This has been the Morning Cryptos, and in general, this is kind of the crypto cranker's guide to the universe, to the galaxy of Bitcoin and the greed and the grooviness that goes along with it, and the human mind and how we function when we are A, learning new things, and B, getting excited, and C, getting emotional, and D, getting fearful, and all the things that happen when we try to take our hard work and our energy and our ideas and put it in some form that we can exchange for things that we don't make. And that, again, is a part of the history of the human civilization, is that people began to become specialized at, the blacksmith and the midwife and the herbalist and the musician, and people began to have different things that they could do to exchange for this thing called money, so that they could buy the things that they didn't make, or the things that they weren't good at, or the items that they couldn't find in their local economy. And so trade began. And so this is really just the extension of our evolution. And we've had almost 100 years now, or 100 years of fiat currency in the United States. And people don't realize that this $1 trillion debt is not something that raising taxes is ever going to pay off. And at some point, it's going to collapse. It might be this year. We don't know. So cryptos, I think, are timely. And they were in a response to the 2008, 2009 bank bailouts. So all of that being said, I haven't been that philosophical lately. And thank you for listening. And that's my 2 cents. And I'd love to hear your opinion. I'd love to hear your comments. And you don't have to agree with me. Just if we can be respectful of each other, I really appreciate that, because then it makes it much more enjoyable for everybody to actually have a discussion. And please, I'm not going to sign up for any Ponzi schemes, and I don't care if Regal Coin is like BitConnect, people. And I appreciate so many of you who've attempted to get me to sign up for Regal Coin. I learned my lesson, and if you want to see me be a total idiot, go back to the earlier weeks of this challenge. I'm in a 90-day challenge to go deep down the rabbit hole of cryptos. And I was like, okay, I'm going to see what it's like to be a fool and his money soon parted. And it was embarrassing. And trust me, you don't want to do it. But if you have to do it, go for it. Just please don't take a bunch of people with you, because there's a lot of newbies and they don't know any better. And so do not be Ryan Burkness. And I think that was a good lesson for me. So I'm looking to do intelligent things with my money and to have sustainable success. That's what we're looking for over here. And the human biases, the cognitive biases, and the emotional reactiveness and triggers, and the human mind's yearning to gamble, those are things we got to watch carefully. But we can manage them if we know that we're doing them with conscious competence and unconscious competence. All right, so that's it for today. Please, thank you. I really appreciate you guys. Thanks. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe and share this and all that kind of stuff. And let's start the music and go.